Good morning. Let's see if you can or cannot hear me. Let's find out how um, how we're doing today. It is Sunday morning, and I am. I am. All right. I am live. I am. All right. I can hear myself. You can't see me entirely, but that's because it's 6:30 a.m. And I will show you where I am to get an idea of what the view is from where we are this morning. The view is quite amazing, but if I face that way, then you can't really see me. Maybe you can see me even a bit better. Maybe I should sit a bit closer to the camera, like this. Okay, maybe I am going to turn the camera around, but then the view is going to be a bit wonky. But to give you an idea, I am waking up with the sound of the ocean um, by my right outside the doorstep. And this is how my days are going to start. I'm going to go back to the other side because you can't really see me any better on camera. I can tell on my monitor from this side than from that side. But I thought it would be nice to just check in and to let you know how I'm doing, because things are going well. We traveled yesterday, which is why I wasn't on stream, and we are now back where my health and fitness journey started, or restarted 2 years ago. And I thought it would be just a good moment to very briefly reflect. I still want to go do a workout, but there was very loud music in the hotel gym, which I didn't really appreciate, and it was really dark everywhere else. So I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to go to actually get some mobility, in, or maybe I will just have to stand on a Stairmaster for 20-30 minutes this morning, just to get the exercise in before the day starts. But for those of you who are watching, my name is Toby. I am 41 years old, and I am training to live an active, self-sufficient, and adventurous life. I do so by minding my sleep. I try to get between 7 and 9 hours in the night. I do so by minding what I eat. I try to eat within my energy balance, which is around 2,200 calories. I try to eat a lot of vegetables, a lot of whole foods, and I generally try to get in sufficient protein for my strength and muscle growth goals. I also show up to do strength training, strength conditioning training forms of HIIT, endurance training, and mobility training. At the moment I'm recovering from a back injury, so you won't see me doing a lot of weight training, even though maybe this week, because it's been a month, I will start again with some light body weight exercises just to see how the motions suit me. But I do mobility and steady state cardio, walking, a lot of walking. Like I said, I might get up on a Stairmaster, or I might go for longer walks in the morning, but since dawn only breaks at around 6:30, and it is also quite overcast here, and I don't know the terrain or the safety of the surroundings, I might just prefer to go to the gym. So probably what's going to happen is I'm going to work out for about 45 minutes to an hour, and then I will come down here and we can have a chat about health and fitness. Some days I might bring a towel and we'll do some mobility here with this view, I think, and this sound. I think there might be worse settings for me to do any kind of workout in. I also try to spend time with people I love and care about. Generally, I think friendships, relationships are very important, especially for health and fitness, well-being. There's an inner world as well as an outer world that we need to manage and care for. And I try to do things that I generally enjoy, and overall I try to live a stress-free life. So if you're interested in any of that, go ahead and you let me know in chat and we can have a conversation. And appel kaasbroodje, good morning, thanks for dropping by, of goedemorgen, I guess you might say. I hope you're doing well, where you're dropping in from, and I hope you're having a good start of the day or end of the day, depending on where you're at. I am in Spain, so it is 6:30. It is the start of the day for me. This is about the way I feel, not about the way I look. I want to feel fit, capable, and competent, whatever life throws at me. I think that being physically fit is going to help me stay healthy and well and capable for longer in life. It's also going to allow me to be a better husband, father, and do better at my job, providing for the family, and for me to be an active part of my wife's and children's lives. And the only goal I really have is for 30 minutes every day to show up and do some work, whatever that work might entail. So yeah, let's reflect, because if you go back into my history, into my shorts, and you scroll back about 2 years, and I think I've posted quite a lot over the last year and a half, but then it gets sporadically less. You'll see me shift from kettlebell and mobility back to body weight and mobility, back to body weight and HIIT training, and then you will find a shot on the beach, one beach over, where when our youngest turned 1, we were traveling around that time, and he started to sleep better. I could actually find the energy to start training during a holiday in the same location where we're at right now. And that means that it's been 2 years, and it's been 2 good years. I think if you look at how unfit, how uneducated, how uninformed, how undisciplined, and how unhealthy I was 2 years ago, and there were good reasons for that at the time, and we'll talk a bit more about that in a moment, compared to where we are today. I think you'll find that picking up something and being consistent with it for 2 years, to varying degrees, because there was a neck hernia in between, now there's a back injury, especially that first 8 months, I think, after, was really hard to find a rhythm that fit, to find a rhythm where I could work out. I don't even think it was daily at the time, but to fit this into my life. But I stuck with it, and about 8 months later, it clicked that I could start early in the morning and make that time mine. So usually between 5 and 6. Today I'm a bit later, and I'm a bit later for obvious reasons. We've been traveling. There's a slightly different schedule, but generally I find that I have a slot between 5 and 6 a.m. where the family is usually asleep, where it is peaceful and quiet, and where I can just work on my health and fitness. Now that is the slot that works for me, and I think it's important for you to realize that is that everyone needs to find that slot for themselves. Good morning, and Mogo Edits, good morning. Thanks for dropping by and saying hi. I hope you're doing well where you're at in the world. It is 6:45 a.m. and I'm just quickly reflecting on 2 years of being consistent in training and working out, and how that got me to where I am today in my health and fitness. And I appreciate you dropping by and saying hi. Um, so figuring out what that time slot was wouldn't have happened if I wasn't constantly challenging myself to try to be consistent and to try to find a time that works for me. Now, I do 7 days a week, but for some people, 3 days a week is fine. Some people do 14 times a week. This is what works for me because I find it gives me a good start of the day. I feel it's now part of my rhythm, but it's not for everyone. And I don't think that, this is important, that getting up at 5 a.m. or at 4 a.m. and having this huge morning routine is in any shape, way, size, or form going to make you rich, make you successful, make you a better person, make you super fit, make you super healthy. The only thing that it is that that is the time slot that works for me and that I can consistently keep without being interrupted. And whatever that time slot is, if for you that routine is at 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Or whatever, you do what works for you. And don't buy into some of the stranger things that people out there are trying to tell you about having to wake up early and having to do a whole morning routine, because that's the only way to get fit and healthy. We get fit and healthy by being consistent in our efforts. And I think the last 2 years have proven that. I learned about exercise modality, strength versus conditioning, strength endurance. I started to learn about mobility. I picked up kettlebell and started to learn kettlebell. Got some certifications in kettlebell as a kettlebell trainer. Got some certifications in functional movement or strength and conditioning coaching, personal training. Got a certificate in health coaching, so overall health and health challenges and how to coach and help myself become and stay healthier. And that's all been the last 2 years. Now for the last 8 years, 7 to 8 years, I think there's even a short on there of me heading to the gym, I think during COVID or just pre-COVID, or even earlier than that. Maybe there's even one going back to 2018, where I had, 2017 probably even, where I had joined a personal gym and had to come back from 101 kilos, which was super unhealthy for me, and I was starting to notice it, back to around 80 kilos. I think I got a bit lighter at one point. And from there it always fluctuated. At one point it went back up to 90, and now it's been more or less steady, 86, 85, 86 kilos over time. Sometimes it goes up to 87, 87 and a half. Sometimes it comes down a bit, but I'm good where that is. But it's not the weight, it's the general level of activity and the general focus on food that has now become a habit, the general focus on sleep that has now become a habit, that is actually helping me to stay fit and healthy without it actually being super effortful. So to give you an idea, right, I try to sleep 7 to 9 hours in a night. So that means if I'm up at 5, I am in bed somewhere between 8:30 and 9:30. And 7.5 hours is a good spot. If I manage to get 8 or 8.5 hours, I would be incredibly happy. And if I manage to sleep even more, I would be even happier. But that's not what life allows. And 7.5 hours is a good score because I noticed that overall I have more energy, more focus. I don't have afternoon dips, and life in general is pretty good in that way. I also eat, generally relatively healthily, 3 meals a day, a snack, There are challenges for me. There always have been. There always will be. I'm the kind of person with a huge sweet tooth. I have to say no. I have to manage the food that is available in the house, but I also have to manage myself when I'm out, when I'm tired, when I'm stressed, when I'm busy working. It is important to me to eat the kinds of foods that are going to keep my energy level constant, that are going to keep me supplied with the energy and the fuel I need to think, to work, to go for long walks or runs, and to lift heavy things when I have to lift them. So it's important to have that conversation. We're gonna shift camera position because I think now we're gonna have a nice shot. Isn't that nice? I think that's nice. I think that is going to be the shot for the rest of the trip. There. Let's see. Oh, wow. Hey there. How's that? See, if I tumble and fall, let someone know. This dude tumbled and fell into the ocean. No, don't worry. There's a rock over there. So let's continue this conversation. This is actually a great view, I think, for a morning stream, wouldn't you say? So being that consistent with food, because it's important to get that kind of fueling in, and then also being consistent with exercise. There's a reason that I'm able to swing a 24 kilo kettlebell. There's a reason that I am able to hike in the mountains, for 5, 10, 15 kilometers with 16 kilos, one of my kids in one of those backpacks as we're walking. There's good reason for me to have the general sense of stamina to be able to walk up 21 flights of stairs in the office where I work at. And that all has something to do with the fact that I am very consistent in my focus on strength training, strength conditioning training, HIIT, endurance, mobility, right? I do usually light strength conditioning on a Monday, heavy strength training on a Wednesday, medium strength conditioning on a Friday, and an endurance run, a longer term run building the base on a Sunday morning. I'm looking into adding a sprint. I'm actually going to start doing some hill sprints here because it's nice and hilly. So it's a great place to actually train that modality and build that extra kind of capacity for my body. And in between I also do mobility, right? The days in between I'm recovering, but I still do mobility exercises to keep my body functional and moving. And I say I want to get back to training, but I'm very mindful of my back and the fact that it needs to recover from a very stupid injury from not lifting properly. But we're going to get back to that over time. I hope that the discomfort is going to stay away for life. Reflecting on those 2 years, was it easy? No. Was it worth it? Yes. What were some of the hardest parts? I think some of the hardest parts for me was really getting myself to be consistent and also believing that I could be in better shape. So to give you an idea, I started off with these 7-minute home exercises, and it was literally just a plank, 30 seconds and 30 seconds rest, split squats, one leg, 30 seconds and 30 seconds rest, split squat the other leg, push-ups, right? regular squats, running in place, yeah. And I think there was one stretch that I was doing, and I was sweating, out of breath, and terribly unhealthy and unfit. I'm sure of it. Fast forward that to being able to go up 21 flights of stairs in 5 minutes, being slightly short of breath, and maybe a little bit sweaty depending on the day, is a completely different experience, right? Because I can guarantee you that at that stage in my life 2 years ago, I would have maybe even fainted on some of those stairs had I been on my way up. So it is, I think it is good to see the progress we've made, or that I've made over time, and that makes it worthwhile. But I won't say it was easy, and I had a lot to learn. I think there are a lot of misconceptions about what health and fitness actually is, and I think we need to really be honest with ourselves and really be truthful with ourselves about the fact that we believe a lot of things about sleep, about food, about exercise, about recovery, about relationships, about community, that maybe run counter to what actually is going to keep us healthy, capable, strong, functional, adventurous for life and for the life we want to have. So yeah, I think we need to reevaluate with ourselves where we stand in that light, and really rethink what we believe it means to be healthy and fit at 30, because that's where it started. I'm 41 now. I was 33 when I restarted. I've been in and out of gyms since I was 16, but I've actually only really been consistent, serious about it for the last 8 years again. There's a gap between 22, I think, and 32 where I had other priorities, as that might happen. David, good to see you this morning. Thanks for dropping by. I am doing well, very happy, as you can see over here, and I hope you're doing well as well. I'll be dropping by every day, and I think this is going to be the spot for a morning conversation. And I'm just reflecting on 2 years of health and fitness, and an investment in my health and fitness, and how that is actually paying off, and paying off very well for me. And I'm quite happy about that, actually. So sitting here talking about it also makes me realize that I do think I am a better husband, better father. I have better focus at work because I have this discipline and this rhythm to my life that allows me to focus on what's important, and therefore I also have more focus, more energy to put into the things that matter at work and at home, because it's not all about me, right? I'm a part of different communities and relationships, my family being the most important one there. What else can I say? I want to thank you also, for those of you who've been following me for a while and who've been asking me questions or sharing their support, like you, David, or anyone else who's watching and who's hit like, or send some encouragement, or watch some of my videos, which really helps me, because I would like this channel to grow, to show people that, investing in health and fitness is not a big deal. It can be done relatively consistently with relatively little effort, and the payoff of that little effort is going to be it's going to be huge. I think if that's something you take out from my streams and my shorts, then I would already be very happy. But I am very grateful for the time we get to spend together and for the interest some of you have shown in my life, in my journey, and where I am today. And I honestly think it has been a big motivating factor to actually been able to share these last 2 years with people online through these streams and through my shorts. So I just want you to know that, right? Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate the message, David. Thanks a lot. So yeah, let's see where this takes us. I'm going to be here. I'm going to head back home now because I think everyone's about to start waking up, despite being dreadfully tired from yesterday's journey. We were up at 2 a.m. and everyone got into bed at 10 p.m. So that was a long day for everyone, despite some of the children getting naps in between. Daddy didn't get any naps. But I think it's all good, and I think we're all good right now. So it's been 2 years. We're in a good place. It's Easter weekend. Enjoy the holidays if you are celebrating them, or if you live in a country where they are part of the cultural rhythm and celebrations. I am going to make myself a cup of coffee, and we're going to get ready for the day. And I'm going to try to sneak in 30 minutes on a Stairmaster at some point during the day, probably towards the end of the day, just to make sure that I keep up with that level of movement. And I think we're going to start incorporating some pull-ups, squats, push-ups, all with body weight this week. And let's see where that brings us over the course of these 2 weeks, if that is something that I'm going to be capable of doing. I might add some bird dogs and side planks in, if my back allows it. So here we are. Remember, friends, yeah, the spot's great, right? I'll leave it up for a minute before I turn off the stream. Remember, friends, my name is Toby. I'm 41 years old. I train to live an active, self-sufficient and adventurous life. I do so by minding my sleep, minding what I eat, showing up for some strength training, conditioning training, HIIT training, endurance training, mobility training throughout the week. I also try to live an active life, so it's not just the training. I try to be active overall, try to spend time with people I love and care about, do things that I enjoy, and generally try to live a stress-free life. If you're interested in any of that, you can go ahead, check out my channel. I make shorts, I do live streams, I post long-form videos where I talk about my health and fitness and what I've learned, and I try to keep things simple, right? Sleep quality and quantity, nutrition quantity and quality, and quantity of activity throughout the day. If I get to do all of those things, I think we're already 80% of the way there. This is about the way I feel, not about the way I look. I would like to feel fit, competent, and capable for whatever life throws at me. And that can be a lot, but I think staying fit and healthy is always a good investment. And remember, friends, we're good just the way we are. We've got to love ourselves before we can move on. And the only way to get anything done is by showing up and doing the work. So I will see you tomorrow. And wherever you are, have a good day. And remember, friends, subscribe. Thanks, David. You take care as well, and I appreciate you dropping by. Enjoy the view. I'll leave it up for a minute as I pack my bag.